Hi, this is Gerald Salenti. It's Thursday, August 20, 2020. August 20, 2020. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front, down over there in Asia, not a good time. Europe, beep, bop, ba-dop. America, boop, boop, ba-doop. So what happened? Stocks rose slightly on Thursday as broad gains in major tech names served as a counterweight to disappointing unemployment data. So the disappointing unemployment data was 1.06 million people last week were jobless. And they were expecting the street about 920,000, which is still a lot. And gold, hanging out that 1950 mark. And silver, 2750, still looking strong. And oil went down a little bit below that $45 a barrel for Brent crude, but back onto the markets. And the NASDAQ composite jumped 1% and keeps hitting new records. When you look at the whole market, there's just a few stocks that are driving this thing forward. And it's a sham. It's a fake. All they're doing is dumping money into the markets to keep them popped up. You look at the data, you look at the facts. Main Street has nothing to do with Wall Street. And again, great information in your Trends Journal. Great article there also by Gregory Manarino. What else do we have? Oh, ready? This is going to come as a shock. The Bank of Nova Scotia has agreed to pay more than 127 million US in fines for failing to stop some of its traders from engaging in bogus trades to fix the price of precious metals for almost a decade. Listen to this bullshit. You ready? For failing to stop some of its traders from engaging in bogus trades. How about criminal bastards? Or maybe bitches. I don't know who's doing it, but I would guess bastards. And nobody goes to jail. Hey, jaywalk, beat them up. And where were you? We're going 8 miles over the limit. Get out of your car, stand on your head. And they get fined. And you know what they get fined? Nothing. Because they screwed so many other people out of money by rigging the market. But that's what the world is. Let's get this straight, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Who's running the show? 2 groups. You got it? The money mob. The banksters. Oh yeah, the ones that Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, became violent at and picked up a whip to drive them out of the temple. Yeah, them. And who are the other groups? Hey, they're right here in front of us. The drug lords. You gotta get vaccinated. You gotta get vaccinated. That Slimer, Slick Willie Clinton, a disgusting little human being of a nothing, allowed the drug companies to run their ads on TV back in the late 90s. Weren't allowed to do it before. You got to get them tobacco ads off. We got to get more money. We're going to put the drug ads on. All right? Too big to fail. Oh, you forgot that one, huh? Yeah, Obama, he did that one great too. And the other guy, Eric Holder. Yeah, hold this. You remember him. Oh, he was black. I must be racist for saying that because he said they were too big to jail, the Attorney General. Black, white, yellow, green, makes no difference. Good and bad, comes in all colors. And the banksters, the money mob, and the drug dealers, they are ruling the earth. Anyway, the bank has agreed to deferred prosecution. Yeah, get away with it. Defer prosecution to giving him a couple of bucks. The traders attempted to rig precious metal future prices in their favor. Attempted? They're doing it for 10 years. Reporters, they're bullshitters. They're little low-life prostitutes. A real man or a woman would have called them out. Anyway, positive bets on euro reach all-time high but caution over future gains. So the euro's going up, dollar's going down. That's why you're seeing gold where it is. Dollar's the 2-year low. But who's going to go into the euro? Oh, Spain's doing great. Now, how about Italy? Oh, they're great. Oh, terrific. Tourism, business, booming. Keep dumping in more cheap dough. It's a rigged game, all right? I'm showing you how it's rigged. Fed is vague on timing of steps to lift the economy. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Federal Reserve officials said at their meeting last month they expressed the economy would require greater government support to recover from the coronavirus pandemic. Not government support, fake money printed by slime balls that is backed by nothing and printed on nothing. And it's not from the coronavirus pandemic, it's from the slimy lowlives who shut down the economy. Keeps going on. Rising stock markets would be in the red without a handful of familiar names. There we go. So I was talking about. And of course, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft. Through Tuesday, these 6 stocks collectively were up 43% this year, while the rest of the companies in the index lost about 4%. And on to some other news. Marks and Spencer will cut another 7,000 jobs over the next 3 months, combined with the reductions of 950 roles announced last month, on and on. Mall owners CBL plans to seek bankruptcy as rents dwindle. Arndell Holdings, Inc., the 3rd biggest commercial printer in the United States, has filed for bankruptcy. You got it? There's no recovery. This whole thing is a fraud. Oh, you don't believe it's a fraud? Then you like your politician, the politic that sucks the life out of you. You don't think it's a fraud? I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. I'm a socialist. I'm a capitalist. You're full of crap. Be a nothing. How about just looking at the facts? Virus pandemic reshaping air travel as carriers struggle. Globally, air travel is down more than 85% from a year ago. You got it? Down 85%. Oh, it's coming back. It's not only the air travel. There's no trade shows. There's no conventions. People aren't going to casinos. There's no concerts. The restaurants, the hotels that serve all this stuff, gone. Oh, it's doing great in Europe. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the euro's going up. Dollar's going down. What do we have here? The 4 largest U.S. airlines lost a combined $10 billion in April, from April through June. We were all hoping that by the fall, the virus might run its course, said Southwest Airlines CEO Gary Kelly. Obviously, that has proven to be dead wrong. Yeah, you should have read the Trends Journal. Yeah. We said you were all dead wrong before. It's going to be a V-shaped recovery. And I said it was going to be an FUV-shaped recovery. And what do we have here? Air traffic at Europe's more than 500 airports. You ready? Down 94% in June compared with the same month last year. There were about 4 million passengers compared with, you ready? 217 million a year earlier. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. Yeah, get that euro. Again, I don't tell people what to do. Think for yourself. Motto of the magazine. Gold and silver for me. Airport ground handling companies warn of more job losses. UK's 4 biggest air service groups urge governments to provide extra support for aviation. Why extra support for aviation? What makes you so great? Nobody's flying. Why should we give you money? Oh, because we're us, and we pay off politicians. Imbeciles and morons call it campaign contributions. Anyway, The companies employ nearly 30,000 employees across the UK, and they're calling for a new system to protect jobs. And what else do we have here? Talking about airlines and what's going on. The Brisbane along Qantas revealed $4 billion hit from the pandemic. And Chief Executive Alan Joyce said the international travel could be a year away. The impact of COVID on all airlines is clear, he said. It's devastating, and it will be a question of survival for many. Boeing, speaking of airlines, to further cut jobs. The aerospace giant told its employees in a memo that it is adding a second round of buyout offers, a move that would further reduce its workforce by an unspecified number beyond the cut of 19,000 already announced in July. Cruise ship operator Genting Hong Kong's halts payments on debt. Genting Hong Kong, one of the territory's leading cruise ship operators, has halted payments on debt of almost $3.4 billion. And it's not a territory, Hong Kong. It's a complete takeover by the Chinese. As I said, when this broke out in Wuhan province, the headline in the Trends Journal is 106 dead. China, coronavirus, 1.4 billion still alive. They used that to close down Hong Kong, and they took it over. Beijing's totally in charge. COVID-19 pounds New York real estate. Worse than 9/11. In West Chelsea District, a recently built ultra-high boutique condominium known as the Getty slashed prices for its remaining units as much as 46%. New York, New York, yeah, down the toilet. What? New York, New York, down the toilet. Over and over here. The numbers are unprecedented. Between March 23rd and August 16th, sales of Manhattan homes were off 56%. New listings down 21%. According to Street Easy, more than 67,000 rentals in New York were on the market in July, with the median asking rent of $3,200, a 9% drop from last year. You see where this is going? The top is staying up there to some extent, but only temporarily. Premium brands ride China's recovery. It is an increase in brands going to the very rich, but the rest of the stuff, Chinese retail sales declined 9.9% between January and July from a year earlier. And again, only the top is making it. U.S. companies grant executives big bonuses before declaring bankruptcies. Companies across America are awarding top executives multi-million-dollar retention bonuses shortly before declaring bankruptcy. You got it? The money mob and the drug dealers. It's the world today. As I say, when people lose everything and have nothing left to lose, they lose, and they're losing in a lot of ways, in a lot of ugly ways. Protesters damaged county building. Protesters in Portland, Oregon, broke out the windows of a county government building, sprayed lighter fluid inside, and set fire to it on Tuesday night. Demonstrations. What demonstrations? It's out of control. Why are they moving out of big cities? Again, in your Trends Journal, we said this would happen in early March. And it's happened. And it's going to get worse. On to some COVID news. White House coronavirus advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci, you ready? Recovering from vocal cord surgery. You know why he has vocal cord surgery? Because all that comes out of his vocals is nothing more than Fauci bullshit. You got it. Vocal cord surgery. It's bullshit surgery. All he is filled with that arrogant bullshit. Oh, Salenti, he's Italian and you're Italian. Oh, of course, I shouldn't say anything bad about Italians. Yeah, because you can't say anything if you're black about another black person. Read about it, it's in your Trends Journal, where so-called progressive people would never say anything bad about Kamala Harris, the vice presidential candidate for the Democrats. In their own language, I wouldn't attack a black woman of what she's done. How about a person? No. Stay by your game. This is the headlines that keep scaring us with. Georgia, Texas, and Florida lead the country in coronaviruses per capita. Whoa. Whoa. Viruses mean you got it. What's the recovery rate? Between 99.5 and 99.8 or 9. Georgia, 4,849 people dead of the virus. Again, half of them from nursing homes on average in America. They got 10.6 million people. Massachusetts, right over here, but this Democrat, they love this guy. They have 8,888 deaths and 6.9 people, 6.9 million people. So how come they're not, oh, they got cases. No, but they're deaths. And then we got Florida. Oh, Florida's another big one. 10,522 deaths out of 21.5 million people. New York, what do they got? 33,000 deaths, 19.5 million people. But that's the headline. Texas, 10,517 deaths, 29 million people. Wait a minute. They got 10,500. New York has 33,000, and they have almost 30 million people. And New York has 10 million people less. And they love Cuomo. That's the stupidity, because Cuomo writes a book about how he handled the pandemic. Okay? The book is entitled American Crisis: Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic. And you know how much he got paid? $783,000. A loser, a lying, low-life loser. Look at the numbers. That's what it is. It's one big club, and you ain't in it. And I ain't in it, as George Carlin said. Another one. State failed nursing homes report fines. This is the state of Connecticut. Yep, let's see here. More than 3,000 long-term care residents have died in Connecticut, representing about 3/4 of all COVID-19 deaths. 3/4. 3/4. Don't go back to school. Hey, wait a minute. Only elderly people that are chronically ill and other people that have pre-existing chronic conditions are dying. Obesity, type 2 diabetes. In America, we're number one in obesity. Wait a minute. 3/4 of the people died in nursing? You're closing down everything? Yeah, we're closing down everything because we're arrogant freaks and fools. We're your governors. We're your presidents. We're your prime ministers. We're your anything you want. School openings bring threats of strikes. Americans fear for their children's safety when school reopen. All right? These teachers striking, I think, is a lot of
absolute bullshit.
You're public servants. You have no right to strike. You're taking my money. If you had a private organization strike, but not with my dough, and you're not going to work, you're at home, I don't want to pay you this kind of money. teachers' strikes. Australia should make any coronavirus vaccine compulsory for its 25.5 million citizens, bar medical exemptions, Prime Minister Scott Morrison said on Wednesday. The drug lords, we're going to vaccinate everybody. Hey, just say no. Just say no. You don't want those drugs. Just say no. Rich countries urged to join vaccine facility. The World Health Organization has called on high-income member states to join its COVID-19 vaccine facility. Yeah, the WHO Director General said yesterday he had written all members states calling on them to join COVAX by July 31st. COVAX. And jumping on the COVAX wagon, we got the Pope. On the vaccine question, Pope Francis pointed to income inequality, and he said that coronavirus vaccine should be made universally available. You see where this is going? Look at the cover of your Trends Journal, done brilliantly by Pilar. Freedom or tyranny? New flu vaccination requirements for University of California students, plus the faculty and staff. They all got to get the flu vaccine, the flu vaccine. Oh, and Massachusetts over there. That's what we used to call it when we were a kid, Massachusetts. State public health officials announced Wednesday that all children 6 months or older who attend Massachusetts 6 months or older who attend Massachusetts child care programs, preschool, K-12, colleges, and universities will be required to get a flu vaccination in addition to existing immunization requirements. You see where this is going? And Israel launches week-long bombing campaign in Gaza amid ongoing blah, 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 blah. Israeli leaders characterized the actions as retaliatory, naming Gazan, quote, incendiary balloons and riots as justification. Doesn't make the news, nobody cares. And finally, youngest American voters dislike the choice in front of them. A recent Pew Research Center survey showed that among 18 to 29-year-olds, strong support for their presidential candidate was almost the same, whether that person was the Republican President Donald Trump or his Democratic rival Joe Biden, and both figures were dismally low at 10% for Mr. Trump and 11% for Mr. Biden. Look at this. So, who's going to win the election? I thought Trump this year, but a lot of things have happened. Hey, wild cards. Here's the deal. Nobody, anybody, anywhere, any place is really going to have a good hit on it until the debates, 2 months away. And we'll see what Joe Biden does. If he pulls it off, then he'll move forward. If he doesn't pull it off, it'll be a calamity. And the thing is, are the young people going to go out to vote? Because if they don't vote, then Trump wins. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.